everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Andy, the Painting Fireman. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for subscribing, those who have subscribed and continue to watch. I hope these are helping people paint or relax or whatever it does. Just keep doing what you're doing. I think we're up to like 70 subscribers, something like that, so that's really awesome. Today, what we're gonna do is we have our standard 16 by 20 canvas, and instead of using liquid white, I've just covered it in a thin coat of liquid clear. Now, I use Bob Ross liquid clear, and the bonus about liquid clear is it makes your paint flow, but it keeps the color. It doesn't mix with the liquid white. So when you put your liquid white on the canvas, it usually mixes and makes it a little bit lighter of a color. So today I wanted some more true colors, and that's why I'm using liquid clear today. Another thing we're going to do a little bit different, I'm going to put a mountain in, but we're not going to put snow on the mountain. It's going to be kind of like I guess a summertime mountain, so you're going to see a lot of browns and yellows in the mountain. So hopefully that's a little different. And yeah, thanks for joining me. Let's go up to the canvas. We're going to start off with some blue. This is Prussian blue, and a little bit of black. Blue and black. Just tap that in on the brush. Not a lot of paint for right now. It's a lot easier to get rid of or to add more paint than it is to take it away. So just a little bit, and I'm just dipping it just a little bit, just pulling some out. Just a little bit of red. Red, black, Prussian blue. Just tapping it on the brush, mixing it on the brush here. All right, let's go up on our canvas and see what we're gonna do here. I think we'll start in the corner here, and you can see how it's keeping that nice blue color. I'm just gonna work it around and work it downwards. Darken the corners. And we're gonna put some big old clouds in the sky today too, I think. And what you can do is, if you have a little bit too much paint, just wipe it off on a piece of paper towel, and then we can go back, because I want it lighter towards the horizon. We're gonna leave some spots open there, and just mix it on. I know it kind of looks messy now, but we're gonna be able to blend that out a little bit. Just like put a little bit more red in there. Just a little bit of red. And there we go, that's kind of nice. Put a little bit of that red on the horizon, mixed with my brush there. Just gives that sky a little bit more definition there. Maybe a little bit more across here. Just throw it on. You want some dark spots, you want some light spots. And you can see how that liquid white or liquid clear just holds that color. It doesn't mix with the white very much. Now you can go in and you can just put in some white, so that's what we'll do. Just a little bit of white on the brush if you want to lighten some spots up here. Just a little bit of white here and there. Just lighten those spots up. And this, when you use your liquid clear, it does take a little bit more blending to do, because it doesn't have that white to mix with. But we can hide a lot of our stuff with big old clouds. And when you're putting your liquid clear on your canvas, make sure you wipe it off with just a paper towel or a shop towel. You don't want it so liquidy that your paint's gonna run. That's not what we're looking for. All right, maybe just up here a little darker. Get that red in there. Just red, blue, black. Just a little bit. Add a little more paint to it, just so we're covering things up. And you want those dark spots. And we're making our X strokes just through the canvas. Just trying to cover up. I just noticed kind of some spots that don't seem to have a lot of paint to them. But what we can do is take those spots and make big old clouds. And then we can go across nice and gently. And that's kind of a start of a sky, maybe just a little bit over here, a little more red. Because I think we're going to have our mountain on one side. We don't want our mountain dead center, so I think we're going to go on the side with our mountain. Maybe put some water in here somewhere. Well, I'm not sure where we're going with this, but that's the beauty of this style of painting, right? You just kind of have an idea and you can switch it on the fly. So I think what we'll do is actually, I think I do know I want some water in here. So I'm just going to mix some blue, sorry if you can't see that, blue and white. And I think maybe right here, we'll just add a little bit of color, just in case we do put some water in there. We can always cover it up. Just right in the middle here. And you want your water, when you're painting water, to go straight across. If you go straight across, that still water is always flat. So you kind of want your brush strokes just to go back and forth with it. I think just in the middle there, we're gonna have some water. There we go. And a big old mountain in the middle there. Okay, let's turn to our, I think we're gonna use our fan brush today. I like using fan brushes for clouds. I just find there's a little more control. And let's find a place, and today we're just gonna go kind of all wild with our clouds. Just move that brush around however you want. Twirl it around. Add some more paint when you need it. Big old clouds kind of floating around here. You can be really free with your clouds. Just wiggle that brush around whichever way you want. Like I said, there's going to be a big mountain over here, so maybe they might get covered up, but right at the base of that mountain, just be really free. Mountain or clouds kind of have, they don't really have a distinct shape at all, but we can blend all that stuff out, you know. Maybe a little small one up here. It goes up this way. A little indication of a cloud here. And I'm kind of using the corner of just the corner of that fan brush. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but I try and make little circular motions with that brush. And it looks willy-nilly, but I'm only using kind of the corner of it. So I could even flip it over and I'll have some fresh paint on here. Just move it around here. Maybe a little indication of a cloud here somewhere. And then what we can do, forgot to wash my brush. I wash my brush in odorless paint thinner. I built myself a little box that I could contain all my paint, all my paint thinner, so it doesn't splash around. I hope everybody likes the new kind of setup. I spent a little time. Those are I painted all those bricks, so it's actually flat, completely flat on the wall. And I painted those bricks. It took a while, but it was fun to do. I can't really look at a wall and not do something cool with it. So tried to make some bricks for kind of like the studio. So anyway, I digress. Let's get our clean 2-inch brush, and we're just gonna go on the bottom of these and mix it up, just the bottom. And we can fan those up and blend them in. And just by going through the bottom, it'll pick up some of that paint that's on the canvas. And I'm just rubbing just a little bit. You can just barely on the corner of my brush. And then we can fluff it up however we want. And by fluffing it up, it gives the indication of those little kind of floofy parts of floofy, I don't know if that's even a word, but floofy parts of the clouds. Those little entrails that you always see on clouds, right? just rub it in there, fluff it up just gently, and then you can X it out. See a big hunk of paint there? Just take the corner of your brush, do that. Blend some of this out. You can even go in circular motions, blend some of that out. If you see something you don't like there, just nice circular motions. Round and round we go. Just the bottom. Kind of leave those tops. You want the tops nice and bright. This one too. Doesn't really matter where you start. Once in a while, if you pick up a little paint, you don't even need to clean your brush all the way. Just on the side there, you can knock off some of that paint. Go back, make your little circular motions. And then we can go gently across. Remember, we're putting that big old mountain here, so we're not really too worried about that spot there. And once again, just knock off some of that paint if you get too much on there. No big deal. Fluff it up as you go along. And step back, you can have a look, and if you see any spots that need fixing, then go ahead and fix them. And whoa, what the heck happened there? Whoops. Somehow I got green on my brush. So no big deal. We can just scrape it off. Take some thinner, go in here, kind of clean that off. So sometimes mistakes happen. I didn't notice that I put my brush into the into the sap green. Put it into the sap green by accident and didn't realize it. That's okay. That's okay. It's fixable. It happens. We're gonna put our mountain there anyways. Gonna put our mountain there anyways, but I just want to cover it up. All right. I guess our mountain's gonna go right over top of that, right? No problem. All right, where was I? Oh, yes, I forgot. Just blending this out. Blending that sky out. All right, so I guess we're gonna put a mountain in. All right, I just finished off some of my clouds. I blended off. I took a step back. It's always good to have a look. Step back, have a look at some of my clouds. Just added a little bit of color up top, just a little bit of white just to highlight the tops. You can always go back with your fan brush. We still got our little spot right here that we kind of made our little, what do they call it, happy accident, right? We don't make mistakes, just happy accidents. So we're just going to put a big old mountain right in front of there. So we're going to take some blue, a little bit of black, blue, black, and we'll throw some Van Dyke brown in there. Blue, black, and brown. We're not doing a winter mountain. We're doing a kind of springtime, so I just want kind of a bluish brown kind of base for my mountain. And just mix it up, pull it out. And because we kind of made a little oopsie there, we're just going to put our mountain right there. Right over top of our, or I think it was green, if I remember. Right, we put some green on there. That's okay. Just just take your color and maybe right here, right for that cloud there. And be pretty free with how you make your mountains. Make sure you put all those bumps and lumps and whatever in there. But you really want to concentrate on making the top of that mountain as crisp as you can make it. It's always crisper at the top of a mountain than it is on the bottom. So let's get this one here. It comes up and goes off into nothing over here. I think we'll put, like, we'll have something, I don't know, maybe we'll have some trees or something hiding that stuff over there. There you go, mountain today. And wait, one more bump there, why not? Why not? And goes off into nothing on this side. And then what you can do is go ahead and scrape off as much of that paint as you can. And this is going to help with the process of putting that other layer on. So scrape off as much as you can. If you think you need to add some bumps or lumps into your mountain, this is a good time to do it. You can see I'm scraping pretty hard. And then we can take our 1-inch brush, nice and dry, and we can go in here and we can smooth that out. Blend it off to the bottom here. Be here. This guy this way. Maybe this guy will come in front to the back one. I haven't decided yet. We can always figure that out. We can always figure that out as we go along here. And off she goes into kind of nothingness. And you can just blend it out on the bottom. We can add some fog in there after. Still have a fair bit of paint on there, but that's okay. So for our rocks, we're going to take brown, a little bit of white. Let's clean off our knife. Going to take a little bit of our white color, brown, and yellow ochre. Brown, white, yellow ochre. Maybe a little more brown in there. A little more yellow ochre. So if you're left-handed, it's always easier to put the highlights on the left side. Since I'm right-handed, we're going to go on the right side of the mountain for our highlights. The green keeps getting in the way. Let me wipe off that green. I don't know how that green got on there. Kind of making a mess with that green. Getting in my way. Alright, cut off a little roll of paint. We're going to go up here. And maybe we'll start on this side here. And just very little pressure. You can even give it a little wiggle if you want. A roll of paint, maybe on this guy here. Go. And how about this guy here? Very little pressure. Very little pressure on the knife or on the canvas. It's really important, just that little cut of paint. That'll help you out a lot. You can even go back to the same spot. Wiggle it down. Cut that little paint off here. Maybe this one has a little highlight, just a little bit. Barely touching the canvas. Barely touching the canvas on it. And this one here. And you can go back and let that paint break. Let it break. That's what's going to give you the indication of rocks and marble stuff. Maybe a little bit on this guy here. And this is just where you think the light is heading. So I think, yeah, we're going to bring this guy in front. And then we'll put some of our highlights in after. And then we can just take some straight white. For the highlights, or for the shadow part, we're just going to take that same color. And I think it's like a blue color. We'll see what kind of blue comes out of it. That's okay. I don't know if you can see that color there. Maybe a little lighter. So we'll add some white. Just grab my white paint here. Add a little more white to that one. And you can always try one. You know, try to put your you can try to put your shadow in. And if it doesn't work, you just kind of scrape it off and you can go with a different color. We're going to try this one here. It's kind of like a bluish color. And we're going to go here. Yeah, that looks cool. I like that. We're going to go in and put some more color. It's kind of our shadowy color. There we go. Kind of what we were looking for. And the same process. My little guy. He loves playing on the piano. So you hear some piano music in the back, you know that's him. He's better than me at the piano, that's for sure. I can guarantee you that. There he goes, I don't know. You can hear it. He's just a little guy. And just keep adding your shadows in here. So wherever there's light, there needs to be shadow. And you can do whichever one first too. Like you don't have to put the highlights in first. You can do shadow side first. Maybe we'll try that next time. I just prefer kind of doing it this way. And then down this way here, you can see how it kind of folds in a little bit. And you can go back and forth with your color from your shadow to your highlights if you want. It's all up to you. And you can add maybe a little, comes up here a little bit. Maybe this one. Go right over top of your shadow that's already there. Just draw it out. Maybe here there's indications. Maybe that light's kind of hitting there a little bit more than usual. Maybe here, add a little bit more. He comes right in front, I think. We're going to add some white and yellow to this as well. So let's get our yellow. And we'll put some more white on our... We just want to lighten that yellow up a little bit. And it's just yellow ochre I'm using. Yellow ochre and white. You can even put some red in there if you really want to. Yellow ochre and white, maybe just a little bit of brown. Get that green out of there. I keep running into that green. That's not what I want the green. That's not where I want the green at all. Take that little yellow ochre color. Just adds a little bit. Yellow ochre and white, that's all that color is. Just maybe the sun hits those rocks a few more places. Stick out a little bit more. I'll have to mix some more up here. Didn't mix enough. I kind of like that highlight color that on top of the highlights that you have already. It just livens that up just a little bit. Makes it look a little more rocky than it is. I really like that. And just go with it. You know, if it's something that works. You know, I wasn't really planning on going that far with anything with those highlights, but you know what? I kind of like the way it's shaping up. Stand back, have a look. Stand back, have a look at your painting. And right here, and just going over top of the original highlights that I put on there. I'm not really adding anything to it. Just that yellowy color. Maybe over here. Hits. Maybe a little bit here. Just that sun kind of, I just like the way that sun kind of highlights all of that there. I think it looks really cool. I think just want a little more pronounced on this side here. And you can go back into your blue. I apologize for that noise too. It's just, I live in an older house, so you know, it kind of makes rattles and noises, but that's, you know, we all get that way, I suppose, right? We all make rattle noise sounds as we get older. Especially getting out of bed sometimes. You make that rattly noise. I'm just adding a bit here. All right. Wow, that kind of looks like a pretty neat mountain. Just kind of like it's almost like a sunset, but you can't see the sun and it's shining down on that side. Looks really cool. All right, let's get into the bottom part. We're gonna put some trees and stuff here, so we're not super worried about this. We're just gonna make some fog, and yeah, we'll come back and do the rest of the painting. All right, we're gonna put some fog at the bottom of the base of our mountain. So all I'm gonna do is tap into this titanium white with the 2-inch brush. Just tap that in there. And what we want to do is lightly create a bit of fog at the bottom. And it's okay, we can go up the mountain a little bit. We just want to obscure the bottom of our mountain. Just obscure the bottom a little bit. And we can take our brush and go up, following that mountain, following which direction everything goes. Now we're going to put some on this side too. Just tapping. Just tapping. A little more white. It goes up here. Want it kind of foggy at the bottom. It's always at the bottom mountains, you always see that fog kind of. We're going to put some trees in front of there, so that should hide a little bit of it. And just grab your brush, just super gentle with it. Go up the side of your mountain. You can even extend that out a little bit, make it look like a little ridge if you want. And same direction this way. Going this way up our mountain. And just blend out the bottom. And some parts you can go higher if you want with that fog. Some parts lower. Like I said, we're going to put a stand of trees across there, but I just need a separation. Just looking for that little separation between the mountain and where the trees kind of start. And just fluff it up a little bit. But make sure, it's all about angles, so make sure we're going, if your mountain goes this way up, this way, and we're pulling it up this way, this side we're going this way. Now if this part of the mountain was kind of hanging down there, I'd do the same thing. But we just want to soften that. All right, let's go into our green. And we're gonna go green and take a little bit of white, green and white, just on the fan brush. Kind of want a light color, light green in the back. All right, so we're just gonna take our fan brush. These trees are way in the back, so I don't really need them super visible. I just want that indication that you might see some trees back there. And all I'm doing is taking the top of that brush, pulling it downwards. I'm varying the height. Like I said, there's very little detail on here. I just want that indication. Just want that indication that there's some trees and we can start seeing some color. Because we're going to put some big old trees in the front here anyways. And you can just go across. Just go across with it. All the way across. I know we're going to put some more stuff on this side anyways as well. It doesn't matter. This part right here doesn't matter right now. Not really super worried about it. We just want to make it look like we're in a deep part of the forest here. We can go all the way across. Because I'm not too worried about anything over here. And what we can do now is take some sap green, and I want it just a little bit darker. So we'll just take a bit of our black, just a little bit darker, and we can go in front here. Maybe put some in front here, just straight downwards. Just trying to create a bit of, just a little bit of depth in the painting. And as we progress forward, things get darker. So light in the back, and then all of a sudden when we come forward, it gets nice and dark. And colors and detail, detail becomes more prevalent the closer you get. So right now these are just background trees. Nothing really fancy happening back here right now. And just pulling the back downwards with my fan brush. All right, let's kind of figure out. We'll just take the same color. I think I want some land coming here. Just kind of drawing out where I think there's going to be land, and maybe there's some trees somewhere poking out. And you can just fill it in, maybe a little darker color. Just fill this in. Maybe he comes out here. Just randomly kind of adding color. We're going to put some highlights on here after anyways. this side here. Just filling it in. Come back and add some nice colors to it. Maybe at the front, big old hill kind of. Or lake there. River, lake, whatever it is. Not sure what it is. All I'm doing is just filling in this color. No real technique to this at all. And it just so happens I had the fan brush with me. All right. Okay, let's put in some, I like making spruce trees, so just some darker color, some sap green, a little bit of black, maybe a little darker color. There we go. Sap green, black, lots of paint on the brush. And I think maybe here, right around there, put a big old tree. As you go down, you can flip your fan brush over. And we'll put another one, maybe he's a bit taller. Right there. A little scragglier than the other guy. We're just gonna come and highlight those right away anyways. I'm gonna put some more sap green. Sorry, excuse me for a minute. Just gonna put some more green there. Don't want it quite black, but I don't want it too green. So just needed some more paint on there. And maybe this guy, he's right there. Just with the corner of the brush. Pushing harder as we go down. And maybe one more. Maybe a little guy right there. Kind of covers up our trees in the back there, but that's okay. And one more. Why not? Trees hide a lot of trees hide a lot of your mistakes, so you can put a million trees in, 10 trees in, whichever. All right, let's go to the other side. Maybe right here. Put one there. Kind of on this hill there. We need to darken him up a bit. Smaller one here. Across. Don't be scared to reload. Maybe this is like a stand of 3 here. All right, let's take our, you know what, we're gonna put in some reflections right now while we're here. Just take some of that green color. Our water. We'll put some bushes or something there. Just give that indication there's some reflections happening. All right, we're gonna take our yellow ochre, or our Indian yellow, pardon me. Just Indian yellow, and I'm just gonna grab a little bit of paint thinner. Just a little bit of paint thinner. And let's go right into that white. So we're trying to make a bright yellow color. And what you want to do is you want to push that paint, push it right into the bristles. And we're just going to come in here. You can do this with your fan brush. You can do it with your 1-inch brush, 2-inch brush, just giving some indication that there's maybe some grass or something laying around here. And I'm just tapping that in there. Same with this side. Don't forget this side. This side, we can put a little more white. Maybe the sun, because the sun's coming this way. Just add a little more white. There's highlights on there. Darker in the back here. Like I said, all I'm doing is tapping. Reloading quite frequently. Go into our water a little bit. And I know we got that big hill there. So we might put something on that hill, I don't know. We'll see. And just go around, figure out the lay of the land here. Just tapping, nothing too groundbreaking. Just tapping. Kinda, I don't know, that part just isn't jiving with me very much. So, let's change our minds. We're gonna make our little pond disappear. Just that easy. And you know what? We're gonna stick some red in there too. Why not? Maybe there's some red stuff in here. Just like that, we could change our minds, no problem. I just didn't like the way that water looked. It just didn't look right in the painting. You can add some green here too, some dark spots. Just tapping. That easy, we got rid of our water. Dried up lake. Maybe this is where, you know, the animals come and just kind of hang out, maybe. I'm just adding some dark spots. I just kind of thought there was too much light. Just going around. Clean your brush off. We can even add some, maybe we'll add a big old tree somewhere right in the middle or on the sides. I don't know. Just have a look at your painting. You never know what you're gonna come up with. You know, we started out with a lake and now we got no lake, but that's okay. All right, let's not forget about our trees that are back here. So let's go into our yellow and white. Just a little bit of green. And let's put some highlights on here. Put some highlights on our trees. Now the sun's coming from this side, so we want our highlights on the right side of our tree. Darker as we go down. Darker as we go down. These are really thick mountain kind of trees. So you're not going to see a lot of the trunks on them. Same with this side, but we want to make sure that we hit that side. Over here. and over here. All right, we got to figure out what we're going to do with this hump here. I'm not sure what we're doing here. Not sure what we're going to do with that hump. Well, maybe what we can do is we'll put a big old tree right there. Cover it up with the big old tree. So let's get out some of our black. A little bit of our black. We're going to need a lot of paint for this one. A lot of paint for this one. Black and a little bit of our green. Not too much. I predominantly want it dark as it can be without looking black. So more of a super dark green color. And we want lots of paint. We're going to put a big old tree. Let's get crazy here. Big old tree right here. Big old monster mountain tree. He's going to go right over top of this guy. That's okay. We know he's back there. Right in the front here. We can go back. Add some spruce limbs to him. How about one more right here? Big old guy right in front of this mountain here. Darker, darker, darker as we go down. We might put some bushes or something right in there too. I don't know. Oh, decision time. Let's go right here. Kind of covered up those guys in the back, but that's okay. No worries, we know they're there. We know they're there. We'll put some nice bushes in the front maybe. And one guy right there. These guys are just off the edge of the canvas. So much for our lake, right? Our lake just went, see you later, dried up. There we go. And we can add some dark in here. We're going to put some bushes in here, I think. All right, let's take our 1-inch brush, if I can find it. Left it out to wash. And in that same color, just grab your 1-inch brush straight down. And let's make some bushes here in the front. We're going to highlight those big trees too. Boy, that sure changed everything, taking that lake away. Never realized it. But that's the way she goes. If you don't like something, don't be scared to change it. Don't be scared to change it. Alright, I'm just going to take some liquid white and some yellow. Flip it around. We're just going to put some nice little bushes up front. I'm just tapping gently with the 1-inch brush. Just some bushes right at the front. Make one bush at a time. One bush at a time. These bushes are right in the front here. And we can change the flavor up maybe. Maybe add some of that red that we have. You just want to tap, you don't want to smudge it. One bush at a time, right at the front. Back into our yellow maybe. Make sure you leave some of those dark spots in there. It creates the illusion of depth in your painting. Those dark spots will help you out. Here's a nice little sparkler right there. Maybe this side needs a little bit of red. Maybe right up front here. Just a little bit. And I'm just pressing with my my 1-inch brush. All right, let's put some highlights on our tree and we're almost done here. Just that same yellow color. That yellow will mix with the green. Just whatever you got on your, as long as it's a light color. And we can go in here. Add some color to our tree, nice and dark at the bottom. We only got a couple of these guys here anyways. This guy on this side. Darker as we go down. And this one here. And we can take our knife, cut in some sticks. Take our knife and make a nice top for here. And we can have some indications of these closer ones. You can see a bit of the trunk. And you can even go into your brown if you want to. Take some brown and just add that indication that there's something holding these big guys up here. Just every so often. You're not going to see every little bit of that. Maybe this guy in the back here. And sticks. Some shooting up the bottom here. Maybe a little path that goes in there. Grass that kind of living out there. All I'm doing is scratching with the knife, right? Scratch away as much as you want. Maybe even some big sticks that live here. And if you see something you don't like, go back. You can always fix it up. Maybe this needs to be a little darker here. Maybe a little highlight on this tree. You can miss the top of that one a little bit. Just add it in there. Step back, have a look. You can always improve on it here and there. The last thing you want to do for sure is make sure you sign your painting. I think we're just about done. There might be a little bit of stuff that I'm going to do to it, but not too much. And we might take that reddy brown color, twirl your liner brush in it, and we're going to sign this one. There we go. That's finished painting. Thank you so much for joining me. If you really, if you want to, you can like and subscribe. Kind of helps me out. I don't know if it helps me out there, but I like seeing everybody putting the thumbs up there. So I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. My name's Andy, the Painting Fireman. Make sure you keep your shiny side up. Stay safe, friends.